Right?
Yep.
Alright, take it away.
My documentary was the American Nightmare horror films. The format of it was mostly expository and realism. When it was expository, it was focusing more towards how each member of directors involved in it was giving the truth behind their films, how they were influenced towards certain parts of it and how they wished to explain about it. And the realism was more towards how they revealed that their influence was from real life events. So like the Vietnam War influenced many deaths and like scares towards their horror films.
Okay, so is this what influenced their horror films in terms of the style and stuff?
It's like certain real life events caused these films to inspire them.
Can you give us some examples?
They said, I think it was Dawn of the Dead, they said that like illnesses or something like made people become really ill and made them walk slurred and exactly like the dead and caused them fear for their own lives.
Okay.
It was each person was like a member of the directors of horror films, and they all were given opinions towards it. So they each talk about different films, and they would say their own opinion towards it. And also it was a little bit biased because they would mention about how certain bits were too much for the films and like how it could have ruined it and was terrifying to each person. And the interviews were more they were spoken directly to the audience, but weren't looking directly into the camera because it was obvious that the presenter was behind the camera, but they didn't make it obvious. It also cut from the interview to like stock footage from the film, so it cut from Texas Chainsaw Massacre to then the director of the film and say what exactly inspired him to create such a terrifying character. And that's it.
Did you learn anything from it as a filmmaker?
I learned exactly like what things bring out the scares into people and how even horror directors can be scared with like major things within the films. And it also proved that, showing how observational these directors really are, because the fact that they notice these things and include them in their own horror films.
Good. Any ethic issues that you had to sort of consider?
What do you mean by ethic?
How much of it was opinion, how much of it was accurate, how much of it was objective or subjective?
Most of it was based on opinion because it will cut back to a different director and say exactly what they thought. So it went back to like Wes Craven, the director of Scream, and he would say how like good it was the fact that to include these in these films and how it made it very popular.
Alright, well done. Questions from the floor? Jack?
Is there any like techniques you can pick out of how they've like shot it that you probably could use yourself when you come to your documentary?
Good question.
Yes, because again, as I said earlier on there, he'd just cut from how each person was talking, and then they wanted to show like exactly what point they were saying. So they will mention like a certain killing in the film, and then, from the interview, and then they'll go into that bit to explain it.
Macaulay?
Has it affected you personally after seeing that? Is the you done different?
Good question.
It's my look towards these horror directors is a bit different, because first time I thought about them, I thought they were just like strange people and like they didn't look at anything else apart from horror films, but it turns out they're very observational and know exactly how to scare a person in their mind.
Brilliant. Tom?
Do you think that them all being directors of horror films themselves, obviously it gives them some bias, but do you think it ruins the accuracy of it all, or is it still?
In some ways, yeah, because there's so many directors who want to go into horrors, most of them are copycats, so it's the same thing. They always have like a person jump from behind the door and just scare them. It's because the first time they were used, they really scared the people because there were technique moves, and now it's sort of copycat.
Alright. right, brilliant. Well done, James.